Hello my friends and welcome back to Slay the Spire 2. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the Necrobinder because I want to revisit this character and push some of the characters I have at lower ascensions. I've also still been having a ton of fun playing the Necrobinder, so let's jump in. We're at ascension 4 on this character, a little lower than some of the other classes, but we're working our way up there. With the Necrobinder, of course, we have the benefit that we gain effectively one block every turn, but it's actually better than block. It's health on Asti. And one thing that's really good about that is it makes floor fights really easy for us. So generally speaking, you're going to have pretty free fights, except against elites when you're playing this character. Let's look at our options here. So we can take Niao's Fury. This is a pretty nice attack for the early game. It can really help smooth out your early game by giving you rerolls on your really powerful cards, Unleash and Bodyguard, and also it's just a 1 energy 10 damage attack, which is great. Whenever you rest, raise your max HP by 5. Not a fan of this upgrade. I think it's generally pretty weak, and I really don't like Cursed Pearl. I just sincerely dislike adding junk to my decks, so we'll take Niao's Fury. Here, we have a pretty strong card for fighting elites, so we could take in some early elite fights. I want to hit a shop as well. This left-hand track looks okay. It's 2 elites, but they're both pretty early. I could do this right-hand track and take... Actually, I might do this. We'd do 3 fights, event, rest area, and that's 2 rest areas before we then fight some elites, and then we get a shop near the end of the floor. That's not bad. It's not my favorite track either, but I think it's still a pretty good one. All right, let's do block, and then we'll just go ahead and hit the toad pole here. I want to play Bodyguard at least before I play Niao's Fury, but I'm probably not unleashing this turn because I need to defend. Oh, actually, that didn't make sense because I wasn't going to play Bodyguard a second time. No, I would have played Bodyguard. I'd have played Bodyguard over the defend if we redrew it. So that was correct. It just took me a second there to figure out exactly what my plan had been. Alright, then we'll kill this toadpole, we're blocking first, of course, because we're taking a 2 damage hit from the thorns, and then we have 7 damage incoming, but we've gotten this enemy pretty low, and then we can do Bodyguard, Unleash, and Strike, and then we'll do Defend and Strike. Something to keep in mind is that when you take damage from thorns or something like that, the damage does go on your actual character, not on Asti, so you can't just rely on him to tank all the damage for you. Alright, so here we have Calcify. I've tried to build some decks that just attack with Asti all the time, and I've found that they're not quite as good as the Doom and Soul decks, so typically if we're offered a choice between those 2 mechanics, I'm going to go for the Doom and Soul stuff. And so in this case, we'll take Grave Warden, which I think is one of the top tier spells for Necrobinder. It's a really solid block. 1 energy for 8 block is just really good, and adding souls into your draw pile is incredible. So here, I could go Grave Warden, Niao's Fury, Grave Warden if I want to do extra souls. I could do Bodyguard, Niao's Fury, Bodyguard. I think I'll just get double Grave Warden going. Or is it better to Bodyguard? I think it's better to shuffle in the soul than to play Bodyguard here. 6 damage incoming, so now I can go for a soul. And our last 2 cards I don't need to draw into, but I can go Defend, and Unleash. We're still fragile this turn, but Asti isn't really affected by the fragility, so that's totally fine. And then this Corpse Slug, if I kill it, it will stun the other one. So let's just go ahead and do that. This enemy now does have increased strength, but because I have these souls in my deck, I should almost always be able to draw into one. And then 14 incoming damage, I could do Defend, and that would block almost all of it. Or I could just do Unleash and Strike and win the fight. So probably I should do the one that wins the fight. All right. Some more really powerful options here. These are great cards that we're getting offered, actually. Putrefy I like a lot. 1 energy for 3 weak, 3 vulnerable, and it exhausts, so you don't like redraw into it. If you don't want to, is quite solid. Reeve, I think, is very good as well. The more souls you can shuffle into your deck, the better. But I think we're going to go with Borrowed Time. Extra energy is awesome. Applying Doom to yourself mostly doesn't matter, so we're just going to focus on doing that. I'm going to take one more floor fight here. Floor fights are typically quite good for the Necrobinder because your cards are so good, and because you're so good at fighting them. And then we can just use Neos Fury to do 10 and to redraw Grave Warden. And here I can Borrowed Time and play everything. Now I am taking a little bit of damage here, because our Unleash doesn't kill this enemy, but we'll take 1. I think that's fine. And then here I can go a Soul Reshuffle, because I was hoping to draw into 3 strikes. We actually didn't, which is kind of funny. But any damage spells here, and we win. Potion of Doom, that's very good for an elite fight. This is basically a 33 damage potion, so it's going to help us with elites a lot. Drain Power is one of my favorite cards for the Necrobinder as well. Though So is also very good. But Drain Power upgrading our cards in deck is awesome. It basically means that in long fights, you're always going to keep getting stronger. And as a 1 energy, 10 damage attack, it's also very good for winning early encounters. Something that you should be thinking about in Slay the Spire 2 is that you want at least a certain number of cards that are kind of improved strikes. So like this is better than an upgraded strike. It's 10 damage instead of 9 with a bonus effect. Just to make sure that you can win the early encounters. And while you don't want too many of them, because then you'll junk up your deck too much, getting at least some improved strikes is how you get through the first floor. Alright, 6 HP is fine. We could get Retain on one of our cards. Putting it on, like, Borrowed Time or something seems okay, but I think I'm just going to take the 6 HP here. Our maximum health is fairly low on this character regardless. And then we were going to go to the right and do, 3 elite fights. So we'll go here. Skipping out on the elite fight to the left, but it gets me 1 more elite kill, and is going to get us an upgrade before we have to fight it. So I could upgrade Grave Warden. The Soul Plus is really good. Borrowed Time is 2 energy, which makes it awesome. Neos Fury is just +4 damage, and then Bodyguard and Unleash are also good upgrades, but let's just upgrade Borrowed Time. Adding 2 energy is going to let us cast a lot more cards. The Drowning Beacon. Crossing a dreamscape of rocks and still waters, you emerge to face a sinking lighthouse emitting anti-light. You can bottle up the eerily glowing water that is pooled here, or climb up the dilapidated structure to retrieve the lens. So we could get the Glow Water Potion, it would mean discarding another potion, or I could get the Fresnel Lens, or maybe it's pronounced Fresnel, I'm actually not sure. Whenever you add a card that gains block to your deck, enchant it with Nimble 2. We're definitely taking this one. We've actually gained some max HP, so going back down to 59 is fine. And this means that any block cards that we get will be vastly improved. You climb to the top of the lighthouse, unnerved by its steady sinking. Upon reaching the lantern room, you start prying off the lens as the anti-light saps your vitality. Finally, you wring it free. The lighthouse stops sinking. Alright, and then we can go here and get another card upgrade, and I'm just going to upgrade Grave Warden. Going up to 10 block is good. Getting the upgraded souls is really good, because now they draw 3. And then I think we're strong enough to take 2 elite fights in a row, so let's go ahead and fight this elite. This is definitely a rough one, because we don't have AoE damage in this deck currently, so this elite is one of the harder ones to fight. I might just use my Doom Potion here just to kill one of the enemies. So we'll go ahead and throw that on the highest health Gardener. And then, do I need the Skill Potion as well? I'm thinking I probably don't. So let's go Bodyguard, Strike on this enemy. And then I am going to take I guess I should use the Skill Potion here. to make sure that I don't take too much damage. So I could take Melancholy, I could take Afterlife just for some more block. The enemies are attacking me for currently 15 damage, so I'll take Melancholy this turn. I could upgrade it if I want to, or I could play Drain Power and upgrade the Strike instead. I think to guarantee that I upgrade Bodyguard, I'm going to play Drain Power before I play Melancholy. And then, which one am I hitting? I guess the lowest health one. And then we'll play Melancholy to block all the incoming damage. One enemy dead here, and then we have 14 damage incoming, so I will play Borrowed Time, and then we can strike the low health enemy, and play all our defends. Here we have upgraded Grave Warden, so I guess, we'll just, we redrew Borrowed Time, which is awesome, so we'll play that, and then Unleash is 12, so we'll kill that one, play Grave Warden, play Defend, and I'll strike this guy. Block all but one of the damage, but it goes on Asti anyways, so it's fine. Here, I don't have enough damage to kill these enemies this turn. So let's start with Bodyguard. I've got 15 damage incoming towards me. I really want to play at least Drain Power, so I'll play that. And then I will play, I think, just the Defend. Try to conserve Asti's health a little. Oh no, I guess he dies anyways, but we're conserving my health here, which matters even more. And then we'll Niao's Fury to kill this one. Play Grave Warden here, which gets another soul in the shuffle. And then I'll just play a Strike. I don't need to reshuffle this turn, or redraw this turn with soul, because we're drawing another one next turn anyways. And then 3 things died, so our Melancholy is actually very cheap here. Let's go ahead and play a soul. The enemy's not attacking, so I need to draw into some attacks, and I'll play another one. And then we'll go Bodyguard, Strike, and Grave Warden. Drew every block card in the deck, so that's actually going to be kind of problematic, but because I shuffled in a soul, we should hopefully be able to draw into another defensive card. Or, if I draw Bodyguard again, then we should have enough damage that Unleash one-shots this thing. So a perfect elite fight for us. It did cost me 2 potions, but taking no damage on that fight is great. Kunai, we will often be playing 3 attacks in a turn, so the extra dexterity from this is going to be really good. I can lose 2 strength and gain 2 strength, and that will mean that if I lose strength, Asti's lose 2 strength and the enemy loses 2 strength. Asti's attacks are not affected by negative strength on the Necrobinder, so you can use effects like this to do a lot. That said, I think I'm just going to skip this card reward. There's just not that much that I want. I have currently no ethereal cards, so pull from below doesn't really do anything. Shared Fate, I think, is not very strong since we're not building around Asti currently, so we're just going to skip this reward here. A little disappointing that we didn't get anything amazing, but that's fine. We did get an intimidating helmet, so now I'm somewhat incentivized to pick up cards that cost 2. In this fight, I am going to use my Dexterity Potion. This enemy will often do a lot of damage to you, so you want to make sure that you're blocking as much damage as possible. And then we can go Grave Warden, Defend, and Drain Power, which will upgrade my Defend. Redrawing with Niao's Fury seems fine, because I can redraw Grave Warden potentially, or Drain Power, which is also a good redraw. So I'll play this Defend, and then I'll play Drain Power, upgrade a couple more of my cards. 24 damage incoming this turn, but we drew Soul and Borrowed Time in the same shuffle, which is exactly what we want. So let's go ahead and draw 3. Play Borrowed Time. Oh, actually, I should have played Borrowed Time before redrawing, because I could have drawn into it again. So, a sequencing error there. Grave Warden, Bodyguard, Unleash. 24 incoming damage, and I'm blocking 19 of it, so I could conserve Asti's health completely, But I think instead I'm going to go with Drain Power and get a couple more cards upgraded. We'll take a little bit of damage on Asti, but we're also chipping away at the enemy health and continuing to damage it. The other thing about the Terror Eel is it doesn't gain strength, it gets vigor, so you can kill it much more. You don't have to worry about taking a long fight against it. Draw 3, and then here I should be able to do just triple attack, because we'll stun it with the Shriek ability. So we'll go ahead and do Strike, Strike, Unleash, stunning the enemy, and we gain a dexterity off of our kunai. Here we can go Bodyguard, Grave Warden, Drain Power. Upgrade a couple more of my cards. Now, it does make us vulnerable this turn, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and play Borrowed Time. It doesn't matter what order I play these in, because we're not doing a reshuffle with this soul. Grave Warden, Defend, and I'll go with just Strike, Strike, and I guess we can play a Defend anyways. Block all of that damage, despite being vulnerable. Replay a soul. You can see why I think these souls are just so incredibly strong. Just drawing all of these cards means we're looping through our deck incredibly quickly. And there we go. Another perfect elite fight. We used 1 potion, but took 0 damage. So great for the Necrobinder again. For every 5 cards in your deck, heal 3 HP whenever you enter a rest site. Okay, well, we're going to get a lot of healing out of that. I don't care about Defile. I might take 1 Afterlife. It's an okay summon card. Puts me up to 15 cards as well, which is kind of nice for the Eternal Feather. So here we go. We heal, we'll Smith, and I'll upgrade Bodyguard. This is usually a very high value upgrade because while it's only 2 block, it also is a pseudo upgrade for your Unleash. And then we'll go ahead and take another elite fight. We don't have the best potion for this fight, so we might take a little more damage this time, but that's totally acceptable. Play Bodyguard, or I'll play Borrowed Time, Defend, Strike, Drain Power to upgrade my cards, and then we can play Bodyguard and we don't take a hit here. So I definitely want to play Niao's Fury this turn. So I guess I'll start with it, or do I want to play Unleash or Unleash first? If I redraw Unleash, I still won't play it, because we won't be able to do more than 20 damage to this enemy anyways. So let's play Niao's Fury before we play Unleash. Kind of nice to pull the 2 dazes, just because it means that we're not going to redraw those later. And then I guess I'll play Unleash now for the most damage. Unfortunately, we drew no defensive cards that shuffle, so Asti lost all his health and we took a little bit of damage. Play the Grave Warden and Strike. Redraw with a soul here, and so I can go ahead and play a soul. I can determine what I'm upgrading with Drain Power. I only get to play 3 cards this turn, though. So we're always doing Grave Warden, we're always doing Bodyguard, and then I guess it doesn't really matter if I'm doing Drain Power this turn, because I'm not upgrading, and it won't do any damage anyways. So I'll just play the Defend here. And we'll take some chip damage on Asti. And then I want to play all of these, though it doesn't really matter, because we're doing... Well, I could do 1 extra damage with Borrowed Time. That's probably fine. The Doom won't matter at all, and making sure that I can kill this enemy, even if we're like 1 damage short otherwise, is going to be pretty good, I think. And here, let's go Bodyguard, Defend. So I'm currently blocking 17 incoming damage. I'm just going to Defend again, and we'll wait until we get 17 damage in 1 shuffle before we start attacking. And then here we go. We got Unleash and Strike. Another mostly perfect elite fight for us. A Speed Potion is okay. It can be good in some boss fights. Strike Dummy is really good in the early game, and we do still have all our strikes in the deck, so Strike Dummy is fine. Okay, so here's some of the cards I really like for the Necrobinder. Sleight of Flesh is really good once you start adding Doom. Invoke is really good if you start looping these, especially because you can do like multiple invokes combined with a lot of souls and get just a lot of extra energy. Currently, I have no ways to apply a debuff for Sleight of Flesh, so we would have to find Doom or weakness effects to go with it. Invoke is always good, so I think I'll take Invoke here, just because we don't have any way to use Sleight of Flesh currently, but later on we might wish that we had taken the Sleight of Flesh, but it's better to take something that's good now. Take 1 damage here, and then I will go ahead and play a Grave Warden. I'll Neow's Fury to try to redraw our invokes and stuff like that. Play an Afterlife. And then I'll just play a Defend here. We'll conserve Osti's health as we try to draw into our Unleash. Oh, I guess I did not need to Borrowed Time there. Not that it really matters. Our strikes all do 9, thanks to our strike dummy. Except for that one, which does 12. Okay, Bone Brew, I think, is better than the Speed Potion, because it's basically 15 block, but also has a bunch of advantages. And then here, Defy is quite good. This will let me apply Weakness. Bone Shards is, lets Osti explode, dealing 9 damage to everything, and I gain some block. But I'm just going to take Defy. It's an ethereal card, so it goes well with our ethereal synergies that this class has available. It has weakness attached to it, so if we do find a Sleight of Flesh again later, then it's very beneficial there as well. I definitely want this Grave Warden. Cage Storm is quite good. We have 1 ethereal card currently, and I like Anchor a lot as well. Bone Flute, we're not doing a lot of Osti attacks, so I think we'll pass on the Bone Flute. I like Grave Warden, I like Negative Pulse. If I buy the Anchor, I can't remove a card. So the question is, do I want to like buy a couple cards and remove a strike? Or would I rather just buy Anchor and Grave Warden? And I think I'm going to buy Anchor and Grave Warden here. Starting with 10 block means that we can set up any powers that we get later on much more easily. Our strikes are a lot better than they normally would be because we have the strike dummy, so it's less imperative that we get rid of them. And Anchor, I think, is just an extremely powerful relic. And then here I can do an upgrade, and we'll upgrade Defy. This is a really high value upgrade because 2 turns of weakness means that you're getting value in future turns as well. Alright, so the Lagavelin Matriarch, I don't really want to start damaging it until it's going to wake up naturally. So let's go ahead and shuffle some souls into our deck. We're just making our deck stronger. We'll bodyguard. I'll leave the soul, I think, and just do a redraw. And this is exactly what I was hoping for. I can do an invoke. And then I will drain power. Or I could play Unleash if I want to break the armor this turn. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to play Drain Power, which doesn't break the armor. It'll still wake up next turn, but we just get to upgrade some cards, and then we'll play Afterlife as well. So now we have 16 blocks set up with Osti, 17 on this turn. We have a bunch of souls in our deck, and we're looking pretty strong. I'm going to trigger a reshuffle here with the souls, so we're drawing our cards before I play Neow's Fury, because I want to decide what I'm getting back with that. And one of the cards I like to get back with that is the Grave Warden. Play a soul here. And then I will Borrowed Time, Neow's Fury, getting back Borrowed Time and Grave Warden, which I'm going to play, and then I can play my entire hand here. I guess I didn't actually need to Borrowed Time the second time there. But we're kind of maximizing our power level here. 18 damage incoming. I think I will just do... I might use the energy potion this turn, or the bone brew. I think I'll use the energy potion. And that way I can do defend, 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 and unleash, and conserve Osti's health. We'll get more potions later on, so I can be kind of spendy with them this turn. And you can see how many souls we've shuffled in, so we're at the point where we've just got a lot of available card draw. So I'll do that. I'll play Borrowed Time. I'll play another soul. Actually, I'm going to Grave Warden before I play another soul, because I might want to draw into the soul here. And you can start looping these cards as well. And then, currently with Drain Power, I'm not upgrading anything. So let's play another soul, and then we'll decide what we want to upgrade. And I'll play Bodyguard. I'll play Unleash for 37 damage. And then I guess I'd rather upgrade a Defend. So I'll play a Defend. We'll play Drain Power. Now we upgrade Unleash Defend. And then we'll play Strike Strike. Also gaining a Dexterity off of our Kunai. This turn, I'll go Invoke, Defy, Grave Warden. It's just a setup turn for us. The Lagavelin Matriarch reduces our strength and dexterity, but that doesn't affect Osti, who's still hitting for 45. So let's go with... I don't need to Borrowed Time. So we'll just do that. We'll do Unleash. We'll do Strike, Strike. And that's another dexterity. It reduced my strength and dexterity by 2, but we're back up to positive dexterity now. Play a soul here, and I don't want to reshuffle before playing Drain Power, so I'll play Drain Power to get the upgrades. Then I'll play a soul, and then I'll play a Strike, Bodyguard, Borrowed Time, Defend, and Defend. And then this turn... I was hoping to be able to just kill it this turn, but I guess I need to wait for one more turn to draw into my Unleash for 54 damage and flatten the giant bug there. Or crab, I guess. And then we get to add a card. All right, let's see what we get. Okay, so the Scythe. Deal 13 damage, permanently increase this card's damage by 3. Kind of love that. Squeeze is Osti deals 25, deals 5 additional damage for all my other Osti attacks, which currently is just 1. But Domain is one of the best, which, yes, that's how that word is pronounced, is one of the best options for this character, I think. Just gaining energy and drawing cards every turn is amazing, so we're going to go ahead and take that. And jumping in for Act 2, let's see what we've got at the Ancient here. I can tell you're a serious one. What can I do for you, missy? Anything to help me kill a most loathsome man. Alright, the Runic Pyramid. At the end of your turn, you no longer discard your hand. This was one of the strongest relics in Slay the Spire 1, one of the most busted boss relics. Remove 2 cards from my deck, or transform all strikes and defends. I mean, this could be really sweet. We could end up with a bunch of neat stuff. We would be losing a lot of potential block, is the main issue. I think I'm just going to go with the Runic Pyramid. This card is just absurd. It works so well with all our soul generation as well. So we'll just take that. And you'll see just how good it ends up when we can just combo every turn, basically. So we have 2 elite fights on the outside here, and then another one. We can get 4 elites on the right-hand track, and we get a shop if I want to. So right-hand track, I think it is, basically. So let's go here. I'll play Bodyguard, Defend, and Unleash. And that blocks all the damage, and then we keep our 2 defends. We're going to play our Domain, Borrowed Time, Grave Warden, and Afterlife. And then this turn, I can play an Invoke. I have 23 damage incoming, so I do need to block some damage here. Currently Currently, I have Grave Warden to block 10, which I'm gonna play. I have Defy as a card I can draw into, so let's play my Soul to see if I draw into Defy, which I didn't, unfortunately. It's one of the bottom card. Yeah, either of the other two cards would have drawn me my Defy there. Mostly doesn't matter, but we're going to go ahead and play our Drain Power to get some upgrades going, and I'll play a Strike just to get that out of my hand. Osti's going to take some hits here, and we redrew into Borrowed Time, which is great, because it's going to let me empty my hand out a little bit, so I'll play Borrowed Time, play Defy on this enemy, we'll play Soul and redraw some cards, play Bodyguard, Neow's Fury to see if we can redraw into Borrowed Time, which we did, and then we'll play Defy, and then we'll play, I guess, just a million strikes. Stunning this enemy, and we'll just keep the defense in hand. This turn, I didn't draw Borrowed Time, but I can just go Invoke, Grave Warden, Unleash for 23, and then I guess Drain Power to upgrade my cards, and we'll keep our Grave Warden in hand. And then we should be able to just wipe out the enemies here with a single strike. Okay. Do I need another Grave Warden? I could also get Cleanse. Cleanse is kind of interesting for this deck as well. We do still have a lot of strikes and defends in the deck, so we could start removing those as we loop through our deck. And since we are playing with Runic Pyramid, we could easily end up with a deck so thin that we can just do an infinite loop combo using Borrowed Time and Souls and stuff. So I think that's going to be the plan. We'll take Cleanse here and go for an infinite combo deck, probably. I would rather do events than floor fights, I think, at this point. There's just a lot of good stuff we can get from events. We don't really need any more cards. Here, I don't want to add 2 random commons to my deck, probably, so I'm just going to take the Chosen Cheese. It costs me some health, but it'll give me at least a little bit of max HP back. Okay, Amalgamator. Clang, clang. I haven't seen this one before. You hear the echoes of metal upon metal on the other side of a wall. That should probably be other side 2 words. As you press your head against the wall to listen in, the wall opens up, revealing a hulking 6-armed figure toiling away. Its face is a swirling vortex of glowing sigils that shift about. One with an ascending spirit has found my workshop. Let's get combining. Love the sound of that. Okay, so remove 2 strikes, add an ultimate strike to my deck, which is great. Just basically -1 strike and adding a relevant attack, or same with the defense. I guess I'd rather combine 2 strikes. The Amalgamator strikes its bone anvil. Clang, clang. Memories of combat, attacking, and offensive strategies sharpen with each blow. Your most ultimate technique returns to you. Awesome. Alright, let's go up keep going up the right-hand side here. We've got the Thieving Hopper. And then, so this turn, I'm going to go with Bodyguard for sure. And I'm going to take a hit. No, because we have our anchor, so we're actually fine. So I can go Bodyguard, Invoke, and I could Unleash for 14, but let's just Drain Power. We'll upgrade our Invoke. Alright, so I can play Domain, I could Neow's Fury to try to get Invoke back, and I think that's going to be good to do, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Keep summoning, keep getting extra energy. What did it steal? It stole my ultimate strike, okay. You know, if the ultimate strike ends up getting removed, like if we can't do enough damage to kill this enemy, I'm actually not too upset by that. But let's go Grave Warden, Grave Warden. I'll play to block all the incoming damage. I'll play Drain Power for half value. I'll play Afterlife, and I guess I'll play Strike and Unleash. And I will just hang on to... No, I guess I should play a Defend, because it saves 1 health on Osti there. Here, I will go... There's nothing in my draw pile currently, so I would need to reshuffle with my souls in order to cleanse something. So we'll do some draws here. I will play Cleanse, and then I can just exhaust a strike. Borrowed Time for sure. Invoke, yes. Let's play a Defy, a Soul, Bodyguard, and Unleash. Even at half damage, that's still pretty good. And then, I guess, just a Grave Warden. Again. We've hit the enemy 4 times, so I can stun it this turn with an attack. So it's not going to escape this turn, so we can go ahead and go Strike. Play something and then play a Soul. I guess I'll play... Doesn't really matter, because I'm going to draw into Unleash and kill the Hopper here. So do I actually want my Ultimate Strike back? Because one energy for 14 damage is fine, but it's not that exciting at this point in the game. Like, we're playing Unleashes for 50 damage is kind of how we're getting our kills. So I think we're actually not going to take our Ultimate Strike back. We don't have a way to use Death's Door currently, because I don't have any Doom in this deck, which is one of the weaknesses, is we don't currently have a way to apply Doom. Obviously something that this character wants to do. Friendship is great, though. As I already mentioned, when you... Oh, we do also have Intimidating Helmet, so pull aggro is a little more attractive for that reason, but Friendship is just ridiculously strong. When you lose Strength on this character, it doesn't affect Osti's damage, so you can take cards like that have minus Strength, and they're really good for you. Alright, so I do need to block some extra damage this turn. We're going to play Domain, and then... I've got 21 damage incoming, so I'm going to use my Bone Brew here. 18 damage incoming this turn, but we now have a Borrowed Time, so I can go ahead and play that. And I'll play Invoke, Friendship, Bodyguard, Grave Warden, and Afterlife. Basically just setting up for a huge Unleash later on. This turn, I have Bodyguard in the yard, so Neo's Fury is likely to draw into something pretty good. So we'll Fury. It didn't draw into Bodyguard, but it drew into Invoke and Grave Warden. Also really solid options for us. I'll do an Unleash here, and then I could draw into Defy, Cleanse, a bunch of good stuff. So let's play one of my Souls here. And then I will play the other one that only draws 2. I could Cleanse a Daze, or I could reshuffle. Let's go Defy. And I'll just Cleanse the Daze here. And then, do I want to play a Strike? I guess I'm going to play a Soul here. We only draw 2, but we... Oh, no, we do draw 3. But basically, I'm hoping to roll into something like, for example, this Invoke. I don't think that we need to keep Defy in the deck, so even though it's ethereal, I'm happy to let it disintegrate here. And then we're almost at the point with Cleanse where we can get an infinite loop going. So let's go Borrowed Time. I have all cards that I want currently in my draw pile. So I will just Grave Warden. Anything I want to upgrade here. I guess upgrading Invoke is fine, so I'll upgrade the Invoke. And then with 21 damage incoming, I'll play enough Defends to block all of that. And I don't want to Cleanse... Oh no, I do want to Cleanse one of these Dazes, so we'll just play Cleanse. And then this turn, I will go Bodyguard. I'll go Unleash for 55 damage. I'll play a Grave Warden, and I'll play a Soul. And then I will Cleanse, I guess, Daze here. And I'll play an Invoke. I think I'm okay taking a little bit of damage on Osti so that we can set up an Invoke for next turn. And then I just need to draw into my Unleash, which is currently over there. So let's go with Borrowed Time, Grave Warden. I'll drain power once. And then we'll pass the turn. And then we're basically just trying to loop into our Unleash. Now, this turn, unfortunately, I did miss a little bit, but let's go ahead and play a strike. And... oh no, I actually messed that up. So we're going to take an extra turn here. I'm going to use this soul just to get all these dazes out. Because I attacked, I put more dazes in my draw pile, so I wasn't able to do a full redraw. But it doesn't actually matter in the end. Here, I can just go strike and drain power and win the fight. All right. So a couple of sequencing errors. Obviously, you have to figure out how the deck works as you go, but this is still very, very powerful. Parse is another way that we can loop through our deck. So I'm going to go ahead and take Parse here. Basically, we can use that with Borrowed Time and Souls, and if I get more of any of those cards, we can just continuously loop through our deck. And then I'll go Smith. Yeah, domain costing only 2 is really good, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. Then we can take on another elite fight right away. So let's start with a Defy, Grave Warden, and I could Neo's Fury, but I guess I'll just Grave Warden again. Shuffle some souls in. Here I'm going to go Invoke. Have 12 damage incoming. I could redraw into... oh, and I need to hit the enemy as well, because then we get an energy back. So let's drain power for free. And then I can play Afterlife to summon 6. And we'll just play a Defend. Take some damage on Asti, but that's okay. And then here I'm going to go with a Cleanse. And we'll get one of these strikes out of there. Then I'll play a Soul to draw some more cards. We'll play Borrowed Time. I will then... I can Neo's Fury to try to get Borrowed Time back. I guess that's probably good. So we'll do that. We missed on Borrowed Time, but I can now cleanse a Defend before we draw. It's all about managing the cards that are in your deck with this character. We can play Domain, and then I can play a Grave Warden. So I have 27 damage incoming. Bodyguard will be fine, and then we'll just keep these cards in hand. I did lose my Parse in to it being ethereal, but that's okay. We're just going to be looping souls for this fight anyways. Let's go ahead and get Friendship online as well. Anything I want to remove from my deck? Not currently. So I want to trigger a reshuffle if possible, so I can cleanse something that I actually don't want in the deck. But let's go ahead and play a Grave Warden. We'll play Soul. I'll play an Invoke. And I'll play another Soul, redrawing. And then what I can do here is I can play... oh no, I don't have another draw. So let's just go Defy, Bodyguard, and Grave Warden, just to, again, set up my deck to be as strong as possible. With this reshuffle, there's still nothing that I want to remove from my deck permanently, but we can go ahead and play a Bodyguard, and we can Unleash, gaining an energy back. Now I can play a Borrowed Time, and do I have anything I want to upgrade? I guess upgrading Unleash is good, so we'll drain power here. Play this, play Defy, Invoke Grave Warden, and 19 damage incoming. Let's just let this ride. As we continue to make Asti gigantic. Once I get a little more ways to apply Doom as well, these fights are going to go a lot faster. For now, we're kind of stringing together the win off of our Unleashes, but it'll start being much quicker later on as well. And I'm going to leave Drain Power in hand. Actually, I'll play the Drain Power, and I can cleanse it later as well. As long as I don't cleanse Unleash, it's fine. Let's Unleash here. I'm going to play Cleanse, and we'll remove I meant to remove a Drain Power, but I can remove a Grave Warden as well. That's fine also. And then I'll play Bodyguard, I'll play a Soul, I'll play a Borrowed Time, I'll play an Invoke. I will play another Soul, trying to redraw into Unleash. Don't want to remove either of those cards, so let's go Invoke, Grave Warden, Defy. 27 incoming damage, so I'll play a Defend here, and another Defend, and then on the reshuffle I can cleanse those Defends, or one of the Defends, out of the deck. So let's start by doing that, and we can remove a Defend, and then I can go Defy, Borrowed Time, Invoke, Bodyguard, Unleash for a huge hit. We can reshuffle with a Soul, we can play an Invoke and a Grave Warden, and Defend, and then I'll hit with a Drain Power as well. This way I upgraded a Defend there. Let's cleanse, removing this last Defend from the deck. And I guess we can just Unleash. Okay. Here, nothing that I particularly want. Sculpting Strike is kind of fun, given that we're holding all our cards in hand as well, so we're likely to end up with a bunch of Strikes and Defends stuck in the deck, but I think we're just skipping here, and then we'll go ahead and take a Relic. Vajra, I guess, offsets the damage loss from Friendship, and then we'll Smith. I could get Parse upgraded. Invoke upgraded is probably pretty good. Unleash upgraded is just 3 more damage, so that's not incredible. Gonna upgrade the Invoke here. More energy and more block, of course, is great. Alright, so this set of enemies could be a little tough because... so what I need to do, I think, is save Niao's Fury until I've gotten my full setup going. And then I can use that to reshuffle my Unleash in the same turn, so that I can kill 2 of them at once. Because otherwise, there will always be... Like, if we just Unleash and kill 1 on a given turn, then I won't have time to kill all 3 of them before the first one comes back. So, kind of important that I save Niao's Fury for this fight. Go ahead and prevent some damage, and we'll Bodyguard, Defend, keep Borrowed Time here. Draw some more cards here, so I could play Drain Power to get some upgrades going. Let's go ahead and Borrowed Time, and what do I want to upgrade? I guess I can play Parse, play Grave Warden here, and then I will Drain Power, lowering the health of some of these enemies. I definitely want to cleanse the Strike here, and then... With only 1 left, let's just go ahead and play Afterlife. Asti might, we're going to take a little bit of damage this turn, I guess. Oh no, actually, we're still fine. Asti lives at 4. Because I hadn't set up Friendship or Domain yet, we just don't have as many sources of block currently. But with that, we can get some additional block. I will play a Soul here, because I'm looking for more block this turn. But both our Grave Wardens are in the yard. I could leave the Soul in hand. I could just play Invoke. We're currently taking 14, 24, 30 damage, so I definitely want to do some more blocking. So I guess I'll just play a Defend here. And we'll take a small hit this turn, but I'm getting all of my powers set up. So now, I can go Friendship, I can go Grave Warden, I can redraw with Soul, I can play a second Grave Warden, now we're blocking a lot of incoming damage, and then we can go with an Invoke. And then this turn, I have Borrowed Time Index still. I can probably cleanse the Drain Power, so I'm going to do that first. we no longer really need that. So we'll cleanse Drain Power. We'll play an Unleash, just lowering the enemy health. I should have played Bodyguard, actually, but that's okay. Then I can play this Borrowed Time. I can play a Defy. I can play a Bodyguard. I can play Soul to redraw some cards here. Play Bodyguard and Grave Warden, and then I'll play Parse. And anything I want to cleanse here, there isn't. So let's go ahead and play a Defy on this one. And then I will play Grave Warden and Invoke. And basically here I'm just building up Osti's health until this turn I can start killing everything. So I'm going to go ahead and play an Unleash. And I don't want to cleanse Borrowed Time, so let's go with a Strike. Then I'll play a Soul, redraw 3 things. We'll play Borrowed Time, we'll play a Defy on this enemy, and what do I want to cleanse here? Nothing, currently. So let's play another Strike and a Soul. And then I can go Invoke. Bodyguard. Currently I don't have Unleash in the graveyard, but I can go ahead and play Parse, redrawing into Unleash. So I'll play Borrowed Time again. I'll Unleash, killing the highest health enemy. And then I want to arrange it so that I'm guaranteed to redraw Unleash this turn, which I believe I can do. Because currently, yeah, I either draw Unleash or Parse. So let's go Niao's Fury on this enemy. And we just redrew into Unleash, so we can just kill it. Centennial Puzzle, kind of good for this character. I don't need to Defy. Man, we're not really getting offered any cards that improve our deck, but that's fine. Our deck is like already just winning every fight without taking any damage, but I wouldn't mind getting some faster kill speed on some of these enemies. Could Drain Power here to get more up. I could upgrade Drain Power. I could upgrade Grave Warden. I think I'll just upgrade the Afterlife. This one can't get hit by Drain Power because it exhausts. And then hopefully the shop has some stuff that'll make things a little easier. Okay, Countdown is pretty nice. Scourge is also really nice. So these are some Doom cards that can just let us get some of these kills a little bit faster. So I'm going to go ahead and buy Countdown. I will remove one of the strikes so we can loop through our deck a little faster. And then, do I want Scourge? I guess so. When you upgrade Scourge, it just... Oh, it does actually draw 2. So having multiple cards that draw is quite good as well. And then one more Elite Fight. Alright, let's go with Afterlife and Bodyguard. And we're blocking most of the incoming damage, and I can play a Defend here. I did let Parse disintegrate, but I don't think we'll need it for this fight. And then I can go Borrowed Time, Domain, Friendship, Grave Warden, and Defend. Set up all our powers here. And then here, I can go Defy, Countdown, Invoke, Grave Warden, and I'll just leave some strikes and defends in hand. This turn, do I want to cleanse any of these cards? Not particularly. So let's start with... I could Drain Power, upgrading some cards. There's actually not anything I really care about upgrading, but I guess I'll play the Drain Power regardless. And I'll play an... Now I can play Cleanse and remove one of these Dazes as well. Play Scourge, drawing a card. Neo's Fury will get me back nothing super exciting currently. So let's play Unleash. Trigger a reshuffle. Oh no, I messed up there actually. Because I played the Unleash, I put 2 Dazes in my... I did the same thing I did last time against this enemy. But we can trigger a reshuffle with the soul here. And then now I can go ahead and play a defend and a scourge and a grave warden, blocking almost all the incoming damage. And then, do I want to shuffle anything else in? Sure, I'll play a defend here. I'm going to play Borrowed Time, and then I'll play Niao's Fury. Actually, I'd be happy to redraw Bodyguard or Invoke as well, so I'll play those two, play Niao's Fury, redraw. We'll play Scourge, increasing the Doom on the enemy. And then I'll play a Soul, play a Grave Warden, and a Defend. And then I could Drain Power here. So let's play the unupgraded Defend. Oh, I ran out of energy. Wasn't counting correctly. There's a lot to keep track of playing this deck. So I think I'm going to let Defy disintegrate. But we can just go Bodyguard, and I can cleanse one of these Defends. No problem there. I can Unleash. And then I can play a Soul. And I guess the enemy's dying at the end of its turn, so we'll just pass a turn and let it die to the Doom. And things got a little faster when I got the ability to add all this Doom to the to the kill. And another upgraded Scourge. I don't know that I want a second upgraded Scourge. Or a second Scourge. I have Parse already, so multiple Scourges could eventually loop, but I think we're just going to skip that. I don't want too many cards in this deck because basically we're thinning our deck by 5 every turn with Runic Pyramid regardless. So the more I keep the deck thin, the easier we can loop through those cards. I could upgrade Countdown, it's just slightly faster kill, but we're going to upgrade Scourge because now it draws 2 cards. Then let's try to fight the crab here. 21 damage incoming. Pretty nice to draw Borrowed Time. So let's start with Borrowed Time. I'll go ahead and Doom this one so we're facing the right direction. And I will play Parse, play Grave Warden and Afterlife. And this way I've got 20 block, and then I can go ahead and play an Invoke. I can wait to set up Countdown because it's more important that I get Invoke going. This turn, I will defy this enemy. I will... see, is there anything in here I want to cleanse? Actually, not really. I guess I could cleanse the Drain Power. It means not upgrading one of my Grave Wardens, though. But I think that's okay. So I'm just going to cleanse. We'll cleanse Drain Power. Thinning the deck is just an inherent good. And then we're going to go ahead and play Soul here. Play the Niao's Fury, hoping to redraw into Borrowed Time is fine, I think. Which we did, so we'll play Borrowed Time. We'll play another Defy to keep that enemy weakened for longer. I'll play Friendship and Countdown. I have enough block currently, so I'll play an Unleash, and we'll keep hitting this rocket. And then I guess I'll play a Strike just to use all my energy. We also get a Dexterity there because I played 3 attacks. Alright, this turn we're going to go with... do I have anything that I want to cleanse? I actually don't in this shuffle. So let's go ahead and play Domain, play Bodyguard, play Grave Warden, and I'll just strike this enemy. So again, we're facing the right direction. 37 damage incoming this turn. We're always going to go with an Invoke. And I will then go Scourge here. I'll play a Grave Warden and a Defy. I've got 24 block here, so I do need to play at least one more block spell. We can play a Soul, because we're always redrawing into Borrowed Time, which I'm going to play. And then I will replay a Soul here. And then I'm going to go with Bodyguard, Invoke, and probably just Unleash. I can take a little damage on Asti to speed up the kill on these enemies. I did let my Parse get disintegrated there, but we've put enough souls in the deck that I think that's fine. Borrowed Time. I'll play Scourge on this one. I'll play a Defy on that one as well. We have, I do have 12 Doom, so it's something to keep in mind. It's not obviously a big deal. Anything I want to remove? Nope. But let's just play Grave Warden, and I will do an Unleash. I have plenty of blocks, so let's Unleash on the low health one. And then I could play a Strike to potentially have something to cleanse next turn. And I think throwing a couple things into the trash here so that I can potentially cleanse something is actually going to be kind of important. So we get our redraw, and then I'm going to play Cleanse, and we can remove this Strike. And then I can go Invoke, Borrowed Time, Bodyguard. We'll play the Big Soul here. Defy I can definitely let lapse at this point. Let's Unleash, killing this enemy. Grave Warden. Play a Soul here, and then Grave Warden again. And then I'm just going to let my Defy disintegrate so that I can loop Unleash more easily. And then here it's going to be Bodyguard, Unleash, Invoke, play a free Soul, 2 Grave Wardens in the deck, which is fine. Let's play Scourge. I'll play both Grave Wardens to reshuffle souls in. Then I'll play a Soul to draw those souls. Anything I want to cleanse? I think all these cards are fine. So let's replay Unleash. And I guess we can just end the turn here. So very, very clean fight. And we just loop through all our cards again. Okay, so Call of the Void is fine. We can always, if it's a card we don't want, we can always just let it disintegrate to the ethereal. That said, I don't know that it's going to be particularly strong for this deck, because basically there's so many things that we just want to loop. And having one more card in our hand just means we're looping through less stuff every turn. I think I'm just going to skip here. And at the start of Act 3, let's take a look at our ancient options. The first card you play each combat is played in extra time. The throwing axe, I think, is incredible. Fight me, Asti! Whenever you kill an elite, upgrade 4 random cards. My deck is pretty heavily upgraded in terms of the cards that I want upgraded already, so I don't think we need that. Or you may cook at rest sites. Remove 2 cards from your deck and gain 9 max HP at a rest site. I haven't tried the Meat Cleaver yet. It seems incredibly strong, being able to remove up to 6-8 cards if we cooked at every rest site. Is really, really powerful. So we could remove like every strike and defend from our deck very easily, and then just do looping unleashes over and over again. So I think probably that's what I'm going to take. Though the throwing axe is also very tempting, but being able to just remove more cards is going to give us an even thinner and even more powerful deck. Alright, so I do want to hit rest sites as a result. So I guess I'll probably just go up the middle. Am I going to... I kind of still want to hit a shop. The left side is 2 shops and no rest sites, so we're definitely not doing that. I could go up the right-hand side here, so we could do, for example, like this zigzag, get 2 events, an elite, a fight, chest, elite, rest. It's 1 fewer rest site, but we don't need more than... Or it's 2 fewer rest sites. We don't really need more than 2 rest sites, though, to remove most of the dead cards from our deck. But I think given that we have the Meat Cleaver, I'm still just going to go up this side. We won't take a shop in this floor unless we happen to find one randomly. So our gold is going to be wasted, but other than that, we're just going to be able to make our deck significantly more powerful. All right, so here, let's start with cleanse, and I'll cleanse one of my defends. I'll play... I think I'm going to let Parse disintegrate here, so I'm going to play Bodyguard and Grave Warden. And then this turn, we can Borrowed Time, and then I'm going to play Niao's Fury to try to roll into Borrowed Time again, which I missed on, but we can still just play a Cleanse, getting rid of our Strike. We can play a Grave Warden, and then I'll set up Invoke, Afterlife, and 12 incoming damage. I can play Countdown for sure. Take 2 damage on Asti. Here I'm going to play Friendship, Unleash, then Drain Power, so I can maybe upgrade the Unleash. Oh, if I was going to play a Defend, I should have played it, and I am going to play all my Defends to save Asti's health. I should have played one Defend before playing the Drain Power. I didn't realize I had nothing to upgrade in my bin there. Let's start with a Soul. Actually, I'm going to Grave Warden first and then play a Soul, so I can roll into another Soul here. We'll Borrowed Time, and then I'm going to get Defy going. I'll play a Scourge, drawing some cards. We have some Defends in deck, so we can cleanse one of them. Then I'll play this Soul. Can't redraw into Borrowed Time, so I could just play Domain. Let's just do that. I could try to redraw into Invoke, but just getting Friendship and Domain ready, taking no damage this turn as well, is going to give us the most power. We can let Defy disintegrate. We don't need it anymore at this point, but let's start with Bodyguard and Unleash. Then I'm going to play 2 Grave Wardens to shuffle some souls in. We'll play a soul here. Play Borrowed Time. I didn't hit any of my card draw. We had 3 out of 5 cards were draw cards there, but that's okay. I don't want to cleanse anything currently, so I will actually replay Defy, and we'll play Invoke. And then anything I want to upgrade, yeah, I'll play Drain Power to upgrade my Grave Warden, and then if the fight keeps going, which it won't, I could cleanse my my Drain Power later on. And so now I just need to redraw into any attacking card. Or actually, I just need to pass the turn, because Asti will take some damage, and then the enemy will die to the Doom. Wasn't paying attention to its health there. We got another Fire Potion, not exactly what we're looking for. Okay, Haunt is gonna help speed up the kills on this, for this character as well, so I will take it, just basically as a quality of life pick. It, I think, technically does make the deck slightly worse, just because it's just one more chance that we could draw an opening hand that's really bad. But I think it's fine here. Okay, I haven't seen this event before. The Battle-Worn Dummy. As you approach, it begins to rumble and fizzle and lights up brilliantly. Bzzzt, time to train. You have 3 turns to defeat me. Choose a setting or face lethal humiliation. Here are the options. After the terrifying message, the dummy carefully reads out detailed instructions. What do you choose? Get a potion, not a great reward. Fight a 150 HP dummy. Can we do 150 in 3 turns? It depends on our draw. If we draw one of our infinite loops, then we can easily do any of these. I'll go for setting 3 here. Hopefully lethal humiliation doesn't mean I actually die. I assume it doesn't, but that would be very funny. Oh wait, playing Countdown there was definitely a mistake. I was supposed to play Bodyguard. Because the 6 Doom is not going to make a difference here. Alright, so it looks like I probably, because I haven't drawn into Borrowed Time, it looks like I'm not going to get there, most likely. But let's play a couple souls here. I'll play my Bodyguard. I'll play Scourge. Yeah, if I had drawn into my powers earlier, then maybe I could have gotten this. And then I'll play an Afterlife. And we'll let Defy disintegrate, because this dummy isn't attacking. And then this turn, I can start looping Unleashes, but there isn't really much point in that. We'll try to redraw into Borrowed Time, but I don't have any card draw here. Okay, so if I had redrawn multiple draw spells, and if we'd started with Borrowed Time, then maybe we could have gotten this dummy kill. But I don't think we were going to do 75 damage. My kill speed on this enemy is just slightly too slow, so it didn't really matter which one I took. You are weak! Humiliation has been administered! Oh no! The dummy is silent for a moment and choose a lower setting next time. Have a nice day. Alright, well, I guess I will have a nice day. Tragic. Alright, we'll take this fight. We've got 21 damage incoming, so I'm gonna go with... We'll start with Borrowed Time, of course. And then I will Scourge this enemy. I'll play Parse, because I do need to draw some more blocking effects. Grave Warden should be good enough, so that is 20 damage block. And then I can set up Afterlife and Friendship, and we'll leave Countdown for now. And this enemy is down to 26 health with 16 Doom, actually. So it probably will just die pretty soon. But we can start by playing a Defy. Yeah, I guess it'll die at the end of its turn, because the block will go away, and it's going to take 10 or 5 times 3, 15 damage, and that'll put it below its maximum health for the Doom, and then at the end of its turn, it'll die to the Doom. So I just need to block enough that we don't take damage this turn. And I could have Unleashed as well, but we wouldn't have killed the Living Shield this turn regardless. So we're just conserving Osti's health to make our Unleash better later. We can play a Haunt. I'll play a Soul. I'll play a Grave Warden, Bodyguard, Unleash for 24 damage, and then I'll play... I guess I could redraw into Borrowed Time with Neao's Fury and win this turn. I didn't, but we'll just let the Living Shield take some damage here, and then we can just kill it. Alright, another Scourge is more card draw. I don't really need more card draw, I need more energy generation. So I think we're skipping again here. And then I can still decide that I'm not going to go Cook, and I want more elite fights instead, but I think we'll just take more floor fights, and we'll go get some cooking done. Alright, 13 damage incoming, but I can use Defy to block some of that damage, and then we've got plenty of block, so we'll just set up Friendship and Domain. And then 15 damage incoming, we can go Grave Warden, Grave Warden. That blocks most of the incoming damage. Rerolling into Grave Wardens is fine, so let's go ahead and play Neao's Fury, replay this Grave Warden, and then I will play Drain Power to upgrade my Grave Warden in the yard here. Doesn't mean I didn't set up Countdown, but we're just ticking up Osti mostly. We'll go with Borrowed Time, we'll play Haunt and Countdown, and then I will play Bodyguard, a Soul, an Invoke, a Grave Warden, Afterlife, and I'll play Unleash, because I might as well. This turn, don't really need to cleanse anything this turn, so let's start by playing Scourge here, drawing a couple cards, and then I'm going to get a reshuffle, so I might want to put something into the deck that I can cleanse, so I'll put a couple defends and stuff in the deck here, and then I'll play this Soul with a reshuffle. Then I can play Cleanse, getting rid of a defend. I'll play a Grave Warden, a Borrowed Time, a Parse, keeping my souls. We'll play Bodyguard and another Unleash. I'm going to let Defy disintegrate, I think. I don't need to weaken the enemies anymore because we've established our loop at this point. 18 incoming damage. We have plenty of block, so let's go with Scourge, and I'll play an Invoke. This turn, we're just redrawing a couple things. I'll play an Unleash, and I'll play Invoke, because I definitely want to redraw that. I'll play higher level Soul. We'll Scourge to redraw some more cards. Anything I want to cleanse? Not really, but we'll play a Borrowed Time, and then I will play the this Soul, because it only draws 2 cards. Bodyguard, Grave Warden, and another Soul play. And then I can go Invoke and Unleash. And I guess Drain Power just wins the fight. Energy Potion is going to be better than the Fire Potion, so we'll make that swap. And then here, Fetch is kind of interesting. It can help me cycle through my deck a little more. Veil Piercer could let me play some ethereal cards. I guess Domain is the big one that it would give me a discount with. But I think, again, we just want to keep our deck as thin as possible. Here, we are going to Cook, and we'll remove Strike Defend. And we gain some max HP, which is kind of nice. Then we'll go take another fight here. 13 damage incoming, so let's go Borrowed Time, Invoke, Bodyguard, Unleash, and I guess I'll play the Defend to stop the Globe Head from doing damage to Asti. We do take 6 damage whenever we play a power against this enemy, so I need to be aware of that, of course. I'll play Grave Warden, and I'll play a Scourge. Play another Grave Warden and a Defy. So 12 incoming damage. That means I can definitely play this Haunt. I'll take 6, and then I'll play a Parse. And then Drain Power can upgrade one of my Grave Wardens, but I guess I'll just play Afterlife. Just get that out of the deck. And then this turn, I need to do some blocking before I can play... Alright, let's cleanse this last Defend. I need to do some blocking before I can play Domain and Friendship. So let's go ahead and play a Soul here. I'll play a Scourge as well. And I'll play Defy. I was actually just looking for... I could play a Soul and look for Borrowed Time. I guess that's okay. So now we're letting a card disintegrate. Asti taking a little damage. I actually haven't drawn into any of my ways to gain energy because I haven't been able to play Defend or play Friendship or Domain. And I let my Domain disintegrate, but that's fine. We'll play Bodyguard. We'll play an Unleash here for 35 damage. I've got nothing that I want to cleanse in the deck, so let's start with a... I can just let Asti take some damage here, and I'll just play Nia's Fury to exhaust it. And I'm happy to let Defy disintegrate as well. And then now we're redrawing into Borrowed Time, which is what I was aiming for, basically. So then I can go Grave Warden, and now I can play Friendship without taking a hit. And then I can play an Unleash. I can play... I could cleanse. I don't really need to. I'm just going to play a Defend and a Defend here. And we'll let Asti take a couple damage, and then the enemy will die to the Disintegrate. Alright. Okay. Negative Pulse, not bad. That's a good blocking card that can give me some Doom. A second Invoke is also really nice, so I think I will take another Invoke. When you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. We're not doing that frequently, but let's go here, and then we'll Cook again, and we'll remove 2 more Defends. And then I will take an Elite Fight. 95 max HP, which is fun. Alright, against this enemy, I'm going to go with Borrowed Time. We're going to take a hit at the beginning of this fight, because I didn't draw into any of my Grave Wardens or Defy. But we can play Borrowed Time, we can play Domain, we can play Defend, and then Oh, I can Niao's Fury to get my borrowed time and defend back and block more incoming damage, and we'll, I guess, do another Unleash. I took 4 here. Ouch. My body. Alright, so here I'm going to play a Defy, and I will play Grave Warden for sure. Bodyguard as well. We're always... Well, I guess I'll play Friendship and Invoke, actually, because we have enough block this turn, and I just want to get those cards ready. What did I disintegrate? Oh, wait, what did I remove here? Parse, that's fine. 13 damage incoming. I just forgot that was in my hand. So we'll play Grave Warden. I'll play Haunt. I'll play a Soul. Does some damage with the Haunt as well. I'll replay Defy one more time, then we'll probably let it disintegrate after that, and then we can play Bodyguard. I'm going to play a Cleanse and get rid of a Defend here. I'll play a Countdown. I'll play Drain Power, both because we can get an upgrade on the Invoke, and because when I redraw into Cleanse, I can maybe cleanse the Drain Power. Then I'll play another Invoke. I'll play a Scourge, drawing some more cards. Guess I'll play Afterlife and just get that out of the deck. And now we're redrawing basically our whole deck every turn, so we have Defy and Invoke in the yard here. We also have 12 energy to play with. So what do I want to loop? I guess I'll loop these 2 Grave Wardens, and then I'll play Scourge. We can play Soul. We can play Soul, and that'll redraw me into some more Grave Wardens, Borrowed Time, and Scourge, and we're very close to a Deterministic Infinite. I don't think we're quite at a Deterministic Infinite yet, but let me just play a couple other cards. I do need to be careful when we're looping Borrowed Time, not to let myself just blow myself up. I'll play Unleash here, so I can loop back into that. And then I'll play Bodyguard, Grave Warden, and we'll play 2 Invokes. No need to play any of these other cards. Now that I'm down to 10 actual cards in deck, plus 2 Souls, I believe we are at a Deterministic Infinite. We can keep looping Grave Wardens, Souls, and Scourge over and over again, with Borrowed Time to give us more energy. Obviously, we'll eventually... It's not entirely infinite, because eventually I would doom myself, but it's close enough that we will win every fight just with that loop. But of course, we can just use Unleash to win without having to worry about that. And then let's take, I guess the relic is fine. None of these cards matter, so we're skipping those. Let's go to the campfire and we'll cook again. And I'll take out Defend, and at this point, we don't need the Drain Power anymore. This turn, I'm going to play... Is there anything I want to cleanse? We've gotten rid of all of our cards that I care about cleansing, right? So, let's play Haunt. I'll play Bodyguard. I'm going to play the Parse to leave that in the deck, because it helps me go infinite again. I'm going to let Defy disintegrate here, I think. So we'll just play an Invoke, and we'll play the higher level Invoke. And then this turn, I can go Grave Warden, Borrowed Time. I can play a Scourge on, I guess, the Punch construct. Not that it matters, because it's... Let's get Countdown and Domain out of here. I'll play a Soul. Redraw with Niao's Fury is fine, so I can go ahead and do that. That lets me draw into Parse if I want it. I could also play Grave Warden. I guess I'm letting Parse disintegrate if I play the Invoke this turn. I have 1832 incoming damage, so Afterlife I can play, and we'll let... did I Invoke this turn? I haven't, but I did play Domain. I also haven't played Friendship. Let's start with the Afterlife this turn, just to prevent some more damage. We'll let Parse disintegrate there. And then this turn, I can go with Friendship, Grave Warden, play a Soul, play Borrowed Time, play Scourge on this enemy, play Grave Warden to reshuffle in some souls. I'll play this, and then we can play Borrowed Time, and then, let's see, I want at least one soul in the deck, so I'll replay Grave Warden, and then I'll play another soul. We didn't roll into Borrowed Time this turn, so let's go ahead and play a Grave Warden. We'll play the higher level one, and then I'll play this soul, and then I can Borrowed Time. And you can see we're at the point of ineffectively infinite loop. I can start working Bodyguard into the loop to kill faster with Unleash, so let's do that. And then I can go this soul, we can play Borrowed Time, we can play Grave Warden, we can play Bodyguard. Then I'll play a soul here. Play Bodyguard, play another one. Play Borrowed Time. And then I've got 41 damage with this Unleash, so let's keep Grave Wardening. I'll play Scourge. Play a Soul to redraw into Borrowed Time. Now I'm going to Unleash on... I guess I'll Bodyguard first, and then I'll play... Oh, I guess I maybe messed up a little bit there. I might not be able to play into Borrowed Time, depending on my draws here, I think. But we'll play a Soul, we'll play... Oh, no, I'm fine, actually. Play a Soul, play another Soul, we'll play Borrowed Time. I'll go ahead and Unleash on the highest health enemy here. And then I'll replay Grave Warden. And I'm just going to pass the turn. We could keep going infinite, but the loop is getting kind of annoying to execute. So I'm just going to let that time out here. We'll redraw Unleash and then kill the construct on the subsequent turn. And then here... Grave Blast actually is maybe a component of a faster infinite loop, because I can spend one to get back Borrowed Time every time. So I think I will take the Grave Blast here, because it doesn't exhaust or anything, so we can just keep looping Borrowed Time and get to be +1 energy every time I do that. So I believe that is a component of a faster infinite. Let's go... We've got 25 incoming damage. So we are going to take a hit this turn, because I don't have a way to draw... Well, I can play Scourge first. So I'll play Scourge. I will play the Energy Potion just to make sure I'm like getting all my stuff online. And I'll play Bodyguard. Minimize the incoming damage. Oh yeah, right. We have we draw extra cards when we take damage. We just haven't taken damage in so long. I kind of forgot about that. So my Borrowed Time is in the bottom cards of the deck here, unfortunately. But let's go Grave Warden, Grave Warden. I will play Invoke to set that up for the subsequent turns. I'll play Afterlife, and I guess I will just play Countdown. And I'll let my Parse disintegrate here. Oh yeah, this enemy, though, does put burns in the deck, which can be pretty annoying. So let's play Haunt. I'll then play... We'll be able to cleanse some of them when they loop through. But I can't currently draw cards, right? Well, I can draw with Soul. So let's start with drawing 2 with Soul. We'll play Borrowed Time. I'll Grave Blast back the Borrowed Time for more energy. I'm going to play Niao's Fury. We'll get back the Grave Warden here, and we'll play that. I'll play Scourge to redraw some cards. Then, Defy, I can probably let that disintegrate, but I guess I might as well play it this turn. Play an Invoke. I can always cleanse the Defy later. I'm going to play Unleash just to loop through it and do more damage faster. We're trying to do this with fewer slots in our hand, which is what makes it a little more difficult. Let's go ahead and play Scourge, drawing some cards. We'll replay Borrowed Time. We'll play Bodyguard. We'll draw some more cards. I'll Grave Blast back the Scourge, because I want to redraw. And then I'll play Invoke and Scourge. I'll play Grave Warden, and I'll play Unleash. And we'll let the burns shuffle back in, that's fine. Those I can now start cleansing, so I'm going to cleanse one of the burns, just to get rid of it. And we can loop through cleanse as well to get rid of those if we need to. I'll Grave Warden to put a soul in the deck. I'll play these souls. Grave Warden again. I don't currently have a way to draw, right? So I am going to take some damage this turn, but I guess let's Grave Blast, and I'll get back Cleanse to remove one of these burns. And play double Invoke. Asti takes a little bit of damage. This turn, I can go Borrowed Time. Play a soul here. I still have a burn in deck, so let's use Cleanse to remove that burn. I'll play Bodyguard, Unleash, Soul. I'll play Grave Warden. Grave Blast back the Unleash just to get a faster kill. We'll play Scourge here, redrawing some cards, and then I'll play Grave Warden, Invoke. There are definitely better loops I could be doing here where we could get faster kills as well, but at this point, my actual real lifetime is more important to me than the number of turns it's taking to kill the enemies here. So I'm just stopping the loops where it kind of feels like we've done enough to get the win. Take the Oddly Smooth Stone, and then a second Borrowed Time is definitely going to speed up these loops as well. So we'll take that for sure. And then I can do Cook again. And what do I want to remove? At this point, what do I not need? I'm often letting the Parse disintegrate, but now that we have 2 Borrowed Times, I think it's fine. I can get rid of the Doormaker. I don't think puts many statuses in my deck, so maybe I should get rid of Cleanse. I don't actually remember whether it puts statuses in the deck, so I'm going to keep that for now. Maybe there's nothing that I want to remove and I should just upgrade. If I just upgrade this Grave Warden, it's going to make our draws more consistent because we'll be drawing 3 with the souls from it. So let's just do that. And then this turn, against this enemy, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of damage, probably. So I will go Scourge first, looking for Invoke, and then I'm going to play Parse because I actually want to keep it in the deck, and I could maybe have drawn into one of our 2 Borrowed Times. Then I'll take some damage here. This turn, I'm going to go with Friendship, Grave Warden, Grave Warden. I don't have a... my Defy is still in the deck here. So I'll play Countdown, just get that set up. And then I'm going to play Afterlife and Bodyguard. And we'll just take some damage on Asti. This turn, I can go Borrowed Time, because we finally drew one of those. I'm going to play Haunt, Domain. Do I care about the Defy? I don't know that I actually do. I can Grave Blast back Borrowed Time. So I'll do that just for a little bit more energy to use this turn. Then, I guess I will play the Defy. I'll play a Soul here. Second Borrowed Time. I'll play another Invoke. Niao's Fury to just draw back some more stuff. We'll play Grave Blast. And now I'm going to get back Scourge, I think, because that'll make the kill on this enemy faster. I'll play a Grave Warden, shuffle in some more souls. Play a soul. Play a Grave Warden. And Borrowed Time, play Parse. We'll play Grave Blast again for another Borrowed Time. Play that as well. I want to get the loop long enough that I can kill the enemy this turn. But I don't have a lot of ways actually to increase Osti's health currently. My bodyguard is the only way that I have to do that. So that's the challenge that we're having right now. Is that looping through bodyguard is not deterministic right now. I am going to play the Unleash. I'll play a Borrowed Time. I'll play a Grave Warden. And I will play a Parse again. And I didn't draw into another Borrowed Time. So I actually stalled out my loop there. But without getting the enemy to dead this turn. Here I'm going to go Bodyguard, Grave Blast back Bodyguard, because that's the most important thing for me right now. We'll play Scourge on this enemy, and then I can just do enough blocking that we can let it die. I could also... Actually, if I just redraw into Bodyguard, I can Unleash to kill it. Do I have an Invoke in the deck still? No, because I actually want to cleanse my Invokes at this point. Because they're just clogging up the deck right now. 50 damage, but I can go Unleash and then play a Soul, and that will kill this enemy. Bringing the Doormaker out. Then I can play... I'll play 2 Borrowed Times here, just going back up to 10. I do have 30 Doom on my 94 health, so obviously need to be a little bit aware of that, but that should be just fine. Let's play Bodyguard. I'm going to Grave Blast back my Unleash for some more damage here. I'll play a Soul. Play a Grave Warden. Play Unleash. Play a Soul. Play 1 Borrowed Time. Play a Grave Blast. And then I'll take back an Unleash again. Play it. We'll play Parse. Play Bodyguard, Grave Warden, and Soul. And we'll always draw into Borrowed Time there. So I should be able to loop again. And then we'll play another Unleash. Play another Soul. Play a Borrowed Time. Here I'm going to play a Grave Warden first. I could play the... I guess we'll just play Parse here, drawing into some souls, but let's Grave Blast back Unleash, and I'll play the Unleash, play souls, because we're always redrawing Borrowed Time again. Then I can Bodyguard Parse with my energy there, play Borrowed Time, play Unleash, play Grave Blast to get back Unleash. Or, no, that won't do it. So I need to play Grave Blast, get back Borrowed Time, play Borrowed Time, play Scourge to draw 2 cards, play Parse, which should draw me into another Borrowed Time and an Unleash, and we 1 turn killed the Doormaker. Obviously, we had a couple turns of setup, but the Doormaker popped out and we killed it in 1 turn. All right, so that is the Necrobinder. I love how you can get these absurdly strong loops with this character. So let's go ahead and proceed. And do a bunch of damage to the Architect. And there we go. Yet another victory. And we've beaten Ascension 4 and unlocked 5 on the Necrobinder. So that was a sick run. I really enjoyed that one. I really like how you can get these incredibly abusive loops going with this character, where you can just 1 turn kill every enemy. We could have done even more damage, obviously, last turn, and I also could have done various infinites, though they would just take a lot of clicking, so I wanted to loop Unleash to get the kill a little bit faster. But just storming off and getting to kill all of the enemies that we face in just one big burst of looping through our entire deck is, of course, awesome. All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed that run, and if you did, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Slay the Spire 2 and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.